Archaeologists in Magdeburg, Germany, are on the brink of unveiling a stone tomb that has lain undisturbed for 500 years at the city's cathedral. The hope is that this monument may contain the remains of Edith of England, who once reigned as Queen of Germany over a millennium ago. Although there is a strong possibility that the ancient grave might be empty, the researchers anticipate astonishing discoveries when they open the lid coffin. Edith, whose Old English name was the tongue-twisting Edith, began her rule of Germany in 936. Born as one of 8 children to Edward and Alfred, notable among her siblings were Ælfgifu, who wedded Charles the Simple, King of West Francia, and Æthelhild, who married the Duke of the Franks. Edith hailed from a prestigious royal lineage, tracing back to Sigurd of Wessex, a key figure in the Anglo-Saxon conquest of England. Her maternal grandfather, Alfred the Great, ruled the Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Wessex from 871 to 886. Known for resisting Viking attacks and expanding the influence of Wessex, Alfred played a significant role in the unification of England. Although Edith was born after Alfred's death in 910, her father Edward continued the project of creating a united nation. During Edith's childhood, Edward successfully seized control of most of England by 924, leaving only Northumbria under Viking control. Her half-brother Æthelstan succeeded Edward, and it was during this time that European affairs began to impact Edith's life. Henry the Fowler, king of the East Franks, proposed uniting his territory with the English crown. As part of this alliance, Edith and her sister Ælfgifu traveled to East Francia, where Otto, Henry's eldest son, chose Edith as his future wife. Edith and Otto married in 930, and Otto later became known as Otto the Great for his success in uniting the German tribes and his role as Holy Roman Emperor from 962. Edith, described as highly regarded in her native England, engaged in charitable works during her reign, offering gifts to religious institutions. She bore 2 children, a son named Liudolf and a daughter named Liutgard. Edith passed away in January 946 at the age of mid-30s, years before Otto ascended to the position of Holy Roman Emperor. While details of her life on the German throne are limited, her legacy lives on through her contributions to charitable endeavors and her role in the complex political landscape of 10th century Europe. Following her marriage to Conrad the Red, Edith passed away in 953 at the tender age of 22. Premature death was a common occurrence during the Middle Ages, initially interred in the Benedictine monastery of St. Maurice, founded by Edith and Otto in Magdeburg in 937. St. Maurice is believed to have been an Egyptian Christian serving in the Roman army during the 3rd century. However, Edith's final resting place saw multiple relocations until her reinterment in Magdeburg Cathedral in 1510, where her remains remained for the next 500 years. In 2008, German archaeologists, preparing to open Edith's tomb, initially assumed it might be empty, considering it a cenotaph. However, the stone sarcophagus revealed a lead coffin with a promising Latin inscription, indicating the presence of Queen Edith's remains. To the archaeologists' amazement, the lead coffin indeed contained well-preserved human remains covered in a fine silk shroud. Despite this discovery, uncertainties persisted, and further scientific analysis was required to confirm the identity of the bones. Professor Harold Miller, the project director from the German Saxony-Anhalt Heritage Management and Archaeology State Office, highlighted the challenges associated with such archaeological finds, given the frequent movement and mixing of medieval bones. Scientific analysis took a high-tech turn at Germany's University of Mainz, where Professor Kurt Alt examined the bones. His findings confirmed the remains belonged to a female who died between the ages of 30 and 40, with evidence suggesting she had often ridden horses, indicating a high societal status. However, the skeleton lacked completeness, with missing bones likely lost to the medieval practice of removing and using relics. The bones then traveled to the University of Bristol in England for further analysis, where initial carbon dating results seemed inconclusive, suggesting an age 2 centuries older than expected. Attempts to extract DNA failed due to poor preservation. However, the scientists persisted and turned to advanced analysis of the teeth. By examining the isotopes of oxygen and strontium in the teeth, a chemical fingerprint emerged, providing crucial information about the individual's life and origins. This detailed scientific investigation aimed to confirm whether the remains truly belonged to Edith, offering a fascinating glimpse into the past. The isotopes found in tooth enamel can vary based on the environment and geological composition of the region where an individual once resided. Dr. Alistair Pike, a senior lecturer at the Department of Archaeology and Anthropology at Bristol, explained this scientific process on the university's website. By microsampling strontium isotopes on tiny tooth enamel samples using a laser, the researchers could reconstruct a person's whereabouts month by month up to the age of 14. The results of this analysis revealed that the individual had grown up in the distinctive chalklands of southern England, providing solid evidence of their previous residence in the Wessex region, known for its chalk deposits. With dental analysis suggesting a connection to Edith, the research focus shifted back to Magdeburg. Professor Kurt Alt's research staff, specifically Karina Nipper, analyzed teeth from graves around the German city. The isotopes in the teeth, presumed to be Edith's, differed significantly from those in the local Magdeburg population, indicating that she could not have spent her childhood in Magdeburg. This aligns with historical knowledge of Edith's early life in Wessex. Bristol archaeology professor Mark Horton explained that Edith likely spent the first 8 years of her life in southern England, consistently changing her residence. From the age of 9 onwards, the strontium ratios in her teeth remained constant, suggesting she moved around the kingdom following her father, King Edward the Elder, during his reign. When her mother was divorced in 919, Edith, then 9 or 10 years old, and her mother were banished to a monastery, possibly Winchester or Wilton in Salisbury. To explain the discrepancies in radiocarbon dating, researchers proposed that Edith's childhood diet, rich in protein, could have affected carbon dating techniques. This protein-rich diet further supported the notion of an individual from an aristocratic family. Another anomaly was the absence of grave goods in Edith's alleged tomb, contrary to the common practice of burying individuals of that era with accompanying items. However, the high-quality silken dyes used for the shroud hinted at aristocratic lineage. In conclusion, Edith of England, Queen of the East Franks, underwent an extraordinary journey from the west of England to Magdeburg, Germany, and after a millennium, her bones returned to England's West Country. The analysis strongly indicated that the mortal remains found in the cathedral did indeed belong to Edith. In October 2010, Edith was laid to rest once again in Magdeburg, this time in a titanium coffin. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.